Restarting. There we go. Oh my god. Wow. Fuck. I kept trying to get it to fade out and it wasn't working. Oh, and I fucking... Did I mute the media source? No, I didn't. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna change the window. Alright. So, yeah, today, I'm just, I've been trying to get better at math and whatnot. So, damn, did that show up on stream? I hope not. That would suck. That was very fucking stupid of me, what I just did. But, I'm trying to get better at math and whatnot, so, that's what I'm gonna dedicate this stream to. And don't worry, I have, Desmos over here. Oh, fuck no, I don't. What am I talking about? Alright, well now I gotta set that up, fucking... And then I think my transition screen is fucked up as well. I thought I had all this together. I did not have all this together. Apparently. And then when we switch over from Desmos, we can do that, and I'll just do... Let me fix... Switch back to window 1. Let me fix the transition for window 1. Yeah, that all went to shit for some reason. I don't know why, but everything should be good now. Let me see. Yep. Yeah, we're not good. Well, we are good, but I just hit the wrong thing. See, there we go. All done, all fixed. Fixed up. In case I make this mistake again, I could just like fit the webcam now to the screen, and then we'll have that good going. But yeah, I just finished my homework for my other classes, so we should be good to learn mathematics. I have here like all the things that I want to learn how to do, get better at, and whatnot. Just like from a quick little primer for in algebra. But today, what I wanted to do, since I'm using Desmos and stuff, here I might. We'll see if the pen is more legible than the pencil, because I can see that this is barely legible. But oh shit, yeah, I had to put my camera on a pillow, so it's not exactly the most stable. But yeah, we're gonna fuck around with Desmos and see like what kinds of what is it? We're gonna fuck around on Desmos and see what kinds of shapes variables make, different combinations of different variables, depending on if we're squaring the variable or finding the difference between two variables, and so on and so forth. And this is mainly because, and I'll show you this right here, if we look on Desmos, right, I'm gonna do the equation for what is it, like the equation of a circle. I think that's what I've come to understand it as representing, because it is when you do this, right, and I forgot to square these, I apologize. When you do this, you'll see R squared. You'll see that we get a circle here. We'll just add sliders for all of these. And when we add sliders for all of these, right, when we plug a number for our variable, we get our circle. And it's very interesting that this does this. And I guess I'm just trying to understand, I guess, the logic behind this, because what I lack is quantitative reasoning. You know, now that I think of it, I think I need to log into Desmos. Give me a second. I don't know if I actually did the transition or not. Oh, I did. Cool. Yeah, I need to log in the Desmos. Because I've already have like a bunch of shit down. Source silage. Continue. I should be on. I should be logged in. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. So, damn, this was a week ago? Only a week ago? That's not bad. That's cool. I thought I was, like, way more fucked than I appear to be. So interesting. You know? Conic section circle. Yeah, we could just open, honestly, like the what Desmos already has, like a like preset for circles and whatnot. So we can just look here and try and make sense of what it is they're doing. So we find, and this, it might be kind of difficult for me to focus with the camera and stuff, and if it is, I'll probably just end the stream. But I wanted to give this a try and see if maybe it would work for me, because I think it's cool doing this kind of shit. Sorry, I got a text message. Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna turn my phone off in about a moment. Alright. I'm gonna toss my phone and turn it off. Toss it. Alright, yeah. As I was saying. Yeah, we'll see how well I focus with this setup. I'm not super fucking confident that I will be able to, but maybe, you know, I can take notes with my hands and then swap over to the computer, swap these notes over to the computer in some way, or try and transcribe them using like Notepad or Google Docs or something or other. I don't really know what the plan is here. I didn't really plan anything. I didn't plan this out whatsoever. I kind of just wanted to not like fall behind on doing this shit, so figured I'd stream it because fuck it, why not? Right? Fuck it, why not? It really doesn't matter. It's not. It's barely a thing. Here, let's see. So, let's see. We have variable x minus a, right? Variable x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is less than r squared. The less than symbol isn't actually necessary. We could say equals, right? And what we get is a circle. But notice that we only and specifically get this circle, right, when we plug for r, a, and b, right, where a and b in the equation I wrote previously were h and k. So, here, I fucked that up. Let me, I want to do it right. There's only one way I'm gonna get better. It's by practicing. So we're gonna practice transitions and whatnot. But here, I wonder if I just like flipped this, if it would be like absolutely, if it would be like super obnoxious to look at. No, it's not that obnoxious. It's a little bit stupid, yeah. Admittedly, it's a little bit dumb, but it's not like, it's not too bad. So yeah, as we saw on Desmos, here I'm trying to clean my work area, so it's better to look at. This is also mirrored. So let's flip that horizontally. What the hell? Why am I not? Flip horizontal. There we go. I apologize. I'm a noob. I'm a noob. I don't know how to use the OBS and shit. But yeah. So as we saw in Desmos, it was what, A and B. Yeah. We had variables. We were plugging for variables R, A, and B. So we can take note of that, right? Plugging for variables R, A, and B, right? Plugging for variables R, A, and B is what I wrote right there. Let me go ahead and zoom in just a little bit so that you're able to see, so everybody's able to see and whatnot. There you go. There we go. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. Yeah, sorry, my software kept opening that that thingy up. So yeah, we're plugging for variables R, A, and B, and look at that. I'm skinny as shit. I mean, it looks less horrible in real life, to be fair. It looks less horrible in real. It looks cooler in real life, but on camera it looks horrible. Look like a ghoul. Here, give me a second. I'm putting on a sweater so that I don't think about it. Okay, there it is. All done. Problem solved. Ah, shit. Fuck. There we go. Yeah, so anyway, like I was saying, the plugging for variables R, A, and B. That, and if we go back over here, fuck off. Now. That's good. And well, that's just closed though. Probably because I did an alt tab away. You kind of need to Alt tab away, right? But what if I switch back? Yeah, and then I switch back, and then I switch back, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. That's cool. Alright. Still getting the hang of it. Cut me some slack. Anyway, yeah, so we have x minus a squared, y plus b squared. So, next, we're just gonna, like, kind of change values here. Just, like, slowly change values. Minus a squared plus a squared changes nothing. What if I make both of these plus? Okay, interesting. It's very interesting. What if instead of working with power of 2, we change it to 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7, and then 8. Look at that. So it's kind of like, are we getting the same couple of shapes after the fact? This really makes me wonder, what could that be due to? You know? It really makes me wonder, right? This is the funny thing about mathematics. I mean, like, this is really how this would appear on a graph, right? Like, this isn't like some sort of conceptual, this isn't just an idea or whatever it is. This is like a real, this is the true expression of this, I don't know, expression or equation. I don't know the lingo either, but that's interesting that that's the case. See, when we change r squared, aren't we changing a and b? No, we're not changing a and b, we're changing y and x. Duh. Those y and x remain as variables. So when we change r squared, we change x and y. How about changing a and b? We shift to the right, the larger a gets, and to the left, we do the opposite. We shift upward, the larger b gets, to the left, opposite. It's very interesting. So, I guess we can consider this as an infinite set of numbers. Right. Infinite set of, so we could say all real numbers subtract a, and then we square it, which gives us this nice round shape. This gives us a nice round circle, plus all real numbers along the y-axis subtract b or k. Alright, where this is h and this is k. Square it. That's so interesting. So let's suppose we were saying subtract, let's say all real numbers subtract 0. Right. Square it. Have to be equal to this value of the radius squared. Right? That's really interesting. So let's do This is funny. I know there's no real point in looking this up. Yeah, 2R. I already knew it, but you know, we just want to make sure. Subtract b squared. So all real numbers subtract a. Subtract 0. All real numbers subtract 0. Square it. So we can only get positive values. Let's consider this. Let's consider this parenthetical and this parenthetical as inputs, right? Let's consider them inputs. Or, yeah, that's fine. Let's consider them inputs. No, not inputs. What is it? Tasks, or I don't want to call them inputs because our x variable is technically the input or whatever. Let's consider them operations. Yeah, order of operations. Let's just call them operations. So in operation number 1, right? This is operation number 1. We do x minus a squared, right? Which has a positive value. We're really going to break this down, right? Because we want to be able to intuit what it is going on mathematically. And after we finish this, then I'm probably going to go systematically. I'm probably going to systematically go down through my binder's contents for probably about 2-3 hours. I know it's rich that I do that, but I'll play Elden Ring for like 12. But I've done this shit for 12 hours as well. I just don't want to do that kind of shit anymore because it was bad. That it's not good to do things for 12 hours straight. So it's just irresponsible and dumb. But it is fun. It is fun. It's nice. It is fun. If not anything else. Yeah, so our two values here are going to always equal something positive, but because we're working with a variable, we're effectively saying all real numbers subtract 0, right, squared. But we're setting a constraint also with radius squared. So let's take note of that as well, right? Radius squared equals constraint for our x and y values being added, right? It sets a constraint here, right? These two have to add up to each other, right? A potentially infinite set of x values have to add up to each other to equal r squared. So when we set our radius, we actually immediately solve for y and x. There has to be a value for y and x, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. But because we're squaring as well, the value might not be as pronounced. It's just interesting because we get a circle, right? When we get a circle, I mean, we're dealing with an infinite number of points, are we not? Technically. I mean, let's look at this for what it is on a graph, right? Let's see. So we alternate first. Let's alternate y values, right? Or let's set a margin for our y values. Our margin for y values are -3 through 3, which is the value of our radius that we have set here, right? So we move within these. And what's interesting as well is our x value is -3 to 3. Wow. But that's when we're subtracting 0 and 0, right? So we are basically just saying 3 minus 0 plus 3 minus 0 squared equals r squared, or r squared is 3. How would that work? How would what would we get when we work that out? Let me see. My calculator is fucked up. Damn, I just replaced the batteries too. That's the unfortunate thing. It might just be broken as well, because it's very old. So it might just not, you know, it might just not work. Which, if that's the case, I guess it is what it is. In the past, I've been able to turn it on by holding down the button for it, and then eventually something would happen. But not this time, though. Alright, well, calculator's fucked up. We'll just use the computer calculator. Let me solve for this. I'm sure I can do it myself. But I have no desire to do so. So, squared plus 1 squared. Very interesting. Yeah, no. When x is equal to -3, y is equal to 0. I'm just being a dumbass. 0 minus 0 squared is 0 squared, 3, -3, yep. Yeah, that's all it is. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Actually, it's not complicated at all. It's pretty straightforward. It's literally just like knowing what the fuck a graph does. It's just an input and an output and a given relationship. It's just so interesting that the relationship is circular. Right, but if we were to break this down really and look at what was being said, we could also phrase this as like output, the difference between our x value and our value of a, which is the x value of the center point of a circle, squared, plus y minus b squared. Look at that. That's interesting, actually. No, never mind. In this case scenario, then both of these can be considered as inputs, technically, right? I mean, what if I had a negative? What if I had a negative circle? I mean, what about this is even? I don't think there's any real difference. Well, it's being squared. It's really interesting. Yeah. Technically, our y value and our x value are both functioning as inputs. And if these both function as inputs, when we square them, right? Wow. We just get the inverse of each input. We get the inverse output for x that we had for y. I don't know if that's technically the correct way of phrasing it, but you can see here, right, when x is equal to -3, we get 0, and when x is equal to 0, we get -3. Let me do that by... I think this square has an important part to play in that. I mean, couldn't we do this without squaring? Could we do this without squaring? That same sort of like have these have an inverse relationship just by finding the difference of them. Technically not. Technically no. Right? X minus A. So input X minus A. Input X minus A. Input X minus A. Center point. Let's say center point 1. Center point 1 for our A value of A. Center point for our value of B, let's plug 2. Setting X and Y relative. A technically in an equation, considering the equation of a circle, A would be H and B would be K, and it would look a lot like XY in parentheses like this, only, you know, H where X is and K where Y is. So the relationship between these two are, you know, they're similar, probably similar in function. All right. If we subtract Y from K or B, I'll just call it K. Subtract Y from K. Right. Output Y minus K squared. We get this quantity squared. Plus that quantity. Looking for 3 radius 3. That's so fucking math is so awesome. I wish I wasn't so shitty at it. It's so beautiful. Look at that. That's so amazing. Like, it's so fucking cool. We just shift up and then we just get new zeros. We get new zeros. Wow. That's so interesting. I wonder if I wanted to, like, if I wanted to get half of a circle here, right? What would be necessary to do that? What do you think would be necessary? In my mind, I feel like, you know, and this is not this is not correct at all, but it's just so fucking interesting. I'm just seeing, like, this side being inputs of a certain type. Inputs set relative to y, right? Adding relative to y squared. They both have to equal r squared. And so, with that being the case, yeah, technically it would just be... It's just interesting. I understand how this works now. I get it. I think I get it completely. Kind of, but not really. Right? Like, it's really just, if I'm working within a margin of r squared, right? Then and then I'm finding the difference between x and a and y and b. Then what is it? A, b plus y. I mean, at some point... No, that's not true, because... It's interesting. I understand, but I don't understand. I'm just seeing, is it possible? I mean, technically, right, if we're trying to equal r squared, I mean, how many different sums would I mean, I would have many sums for r squared. And if we're subtracting from 0, if we're subtracting by 0, it's the same, and it should be preserved if I make a and b larger. There's still many sums. That can give me my output, but they're being, you know, skewed ever so slightly by this value here. These values, I mean. Fuck, that's fucking genius. That's so amazing. You see what I mean? It's really just the fact that there are many potential sums to get to this value. Right? And our x and y values, I think they just kind of trade places eventually. I mean, at some point, yeah, they just kind of trade places, because that's pretty much all you can do, right? If you're working with an infinite set of numbers, then all you can do is fulfill the sets that you can fulfill for x and y respectively, and then, you know, once you finish your x and your y that are distinct and specific to your x and your y, right? Your outputs or whatever, specific to your x value and your y value. Then you swap and they trade. And then we can consider, you know, x is now going to be outputting everything y was outputting, and y is going to be outputting everything x is outputting, and then we fulfill that side. Then we should get every value here. It's just so interesting. I mean, based off of what I just said here, let me make this because I'm really not that good at this shit, obviously. Like, it's hard for me to always get what it is going on. So you just have to bear with me. I'm sure somebody is going to stumble over this who's like really fucking good at math or something, and they're going to clown on me. And please, by all means, go for it. I'm trying my best. But okay. With that being said, right, we figured that out. R squared out. I'm pretty sure that's true, but let me see. -4, yep. Swap there. Is every single value going to be swapped? Can I find an example where that isn't the case? Damn. Yeah, right. So interesting. I wonder what the utility is in representing a circle on a graph like this, right? Like, I mean, technically, something like absolute value. I mean, if you were there can be a utility, right? We're just looking at an input of -4. Yeah, technically we're still considering them inputs, or I don't know. It doesn't matter. I guess it depends on the context whether or not we're considering x like the quote-unquote input or not. In this case, I mean, I don't know if it would even be considered an input. It might just be considered, I would more so consider it an output, right? And this is just an interesting way of representing a relationship of variables x and y that have, you know, these, I guess, I don't even know what to, roles on a graph or whatever, or roll of y is this right here, are typically our output going vertical, roll of x horizontal, typically our input, right? A and B, which ultimately, you know, affect x and y. It's funny, if I did plus A and then I did positives, right, then we begin to move to the left, and if I did minus A, well, we're going to move to the right because we invert, right? Do plus B, we're going to move down. I'm going to move up right there, then we're going to do the opposite of that. No, look at that, now we're moving up. Very interesting, very funny, very cool to me that works like that. Yeah, it's cool to me. It's always been kind of cool to me that does that. Man, it's so fucking awesome. Make that value 2 as well. Look at that, now it's 2, 2. Wow, man. That's beautiful. That really does put our point smack dab in the center of this. We really do get our center point smack dab right there in the middle of the circle when we do that. Isn't that interesting? Right? It's minus A squared. God. Let me see. Let me solve this here. Let's plug for all these numbers. Oh, what am I doing? Whoops. I fucked up the plugging process. To be fair, never mind. It doesn't matter. Who fucking cares, dude? It doesn't matter. Give me 1 second. Here, let me switch cameras to, you know. It should be back on, like, yeah, it's there now. I was plugging them wrong there. Let's see if I can solve this. Right? Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I mean, I don't really know if I can or cannot. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. What should I solve for x? Should I solve for x and then y first? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what I figure out, if I figure anything out. 2x, 2x. I really should have just... I can foil quicker than this, I'm pretty fucking sure. Minus 4x plus 4x squared. Alright. Did I do it again? Yeah, I did it again. I did the exact same thing I did up here. I made the same fucking mistake. Where I didn't plug for B. I didn't do 2. Ah, man. I make a lot of dumb mistakes as well with math. You'll have to just bear with me, right? This isn't something I practice super often. I'm trying to get better. Yeah, so let's foil this here. Y squared. Yeah, so it's going to be y squared, negative 4. Yeah, it's going to be the exact same fucking thing. It's going to be the same fucking thing. The x squared and then y squared minus y. Technically, isn't this... no, it's not. Y squared minus 4y plus 4. There that is. That's what that is. And then we just add them together. Add x and y. I mean, technically, wouldn't it just be like... I could add these two. I mean, I know for a fact that'd be 8, but then how do you add 4y and negative 4y and negative 4 times x? That's not it. I don't know if that is additionable. But I know 4 plus 4 is 8. Right, so let's just like cross those out and then let's do, I don't know, x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 4y plus 8, right, is equal to 4, right? And if we subtract, did I say the radius squared was 4? Or did I plug for value of about our value of yeah, it's radius squared, so it's not 4 squared, it's 4 squared, or 16, right? So now we have this value, 16 right here, right? So let's, I'll try to move 16 over here, right? So we can, so when we're considering it like this, right, we just squared these values, right? So these values are squared now. We're squaring them as we move down, and we get this ultimate result right here, right? We have a value of 4 squared over here, right? So this is equal to 16. This value right here is equal to 16, right? We move that over, and then we say, but when this is equal to 0, we do negative 8. We move all of these down. Squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 4y minus 8, right? It's equal to 0. That's a value of 0. Or what? Minus 8 when we have a value of 0. It's very interesting to me. Here, let me look back on Desmos now, having this in front of me. Ooh. Okay, here we are. And this is in the specific case where we plug for this, or where our values are equal to this, right, plus y. here. I'm gonna go grab a drink of water. Give me one moment. Alright, I'm back. Cool. Let me look back on Desmos. See what we see. Right, I need to start remembering that. So when we square an operation, we can say, or a parenthetical. When we square a parenthetical, if there are two values in that parenthetical, then at one point the value, those two values are going to be directly proportional with each other, right? Because, right, you look at a quadratic formula. In x squared, x and x times x is directly proportional to x in a relationship like that. But in this case, right, x and a are going to be directly proportional. As 1a is equal, technically it would be x, what would it be? X times a squared, right? I think that's like one of the potential answers there. Isn't it? X times a squared. No, it would be x times a plus x times a. Here, yeah. Let me write it down. Let me write that down as well, so that we know for sure the relationships of all of these numbers. Right, because that's something I need to memorize. I will forget. Right, so we have relationship of x squared, right? X times x, and then a relationship of x and a. X and a are directly proportional to each other. But not only that, we can also do x times a plus quantity x times a. Right, and then and then lastly we have a squared. And that is what I believe we're going to be. This is an important way that we should be looking at these equations here, and we can say the same about y, right? Y squared, y times a plus y times a. Oh fuck! I mean y times b, and y times b, and then b squared, and these are going to be the relationships. These are going to be the observable relationships of x squared, y squared, and x to a and y to b in their individual, let's say, parenthetical operations, and they are both going to be equal to r squared, right? But not just r squared, because technically we're adding them into each other, so we're going to do r squared plus, and just to represent the relationship between y and b, we'll just do yb, and then for y squared equal to r squared, we should do r squared plus xa, and just to represent a relationship, right? And let me make a note of that, just representing a relationship. So let's see. Plus yb. Yeah, so that this actually, fuck. That I think no. Let me think. Is this correct? Let me set these equal to 0 because it's easier for my brain to reason with it. It's just easier to look at immediately and go, oh, okay. X squared squared plus, let's say plus this relationship with y, right? This is 0, technically, yeah, it would just be 0. No, r squared plus 0. I'll move that over and just r squared. Here, let me work with just one. Let me change one value. Oh man. No, wait, hold on. Am I being stupid? I have to be being fucking dumbass. Dude, I need to organize my notes better. This is a fucking mess, dude. This is a fucking mess. This is an insane mess. I think I got it. But it's just such a mess of papers and random notes I'm looking at that, like, it's damn near illegible. Sorry, I was distracted momentarily. Here, let me see. Let me just start taking better notes here. But here, let me say that. Hmm. I think I maybe. I was oh, this shit rocks, man. Oh my goodness gracious. That's fucking hilarious. We solve for that. Fuck. Hmm. 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 What if I here? Shit, dude. It's fucking. Ah, man. Fuck. The math I did might have been wrong. Also, I'm gonna keep that in mind as well. Man, it's so fucking interesting. I'm so jealous of people who like have the ability to think mathematically. It's so cool. It's such a cool skill to have. I want that skill. I'm gonna get it. Oh, I'm gonna get it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get it. In like a few years, give or take, maybe. Because I know there's a way to look at this and systematically break it down and see the logic behind it for exactly what it is without all the fluff. But the fluff is a necessary part of what's going on. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's not fluff. It's more like just extra shit that kind of complicates what it is we're trying to see. And I don't think it's easy for anybody to necessarily wade through that. But it doesn't matter. It's a fun challenge. It's maybe like like solving a riddle or something. I used to like doing riddles. The dumb like TED Ed riddles though. Not I didn't have a riddle book or something. Anything like that. I'm just looking. I'm looking and I'm thinking. Right. I have notes, but I don't want to show you these notes because they might be fucking ridiculous. And I also stopped being as organized. Not that I ever was. This is my scratch paper binder. I could be organized in it on occasion. It really depends on the day, I guess. I don't know. But wow. Here. Let's start to break this down as simply as possible. This is good. This is good. This is good. Because I'm sure this is a lot easier than I'm making it. 1 second. Yeah, so let's try to represent this like something like, let's try to consider this like, alright, operation 1, we're dealing with this set quantity, right? This is operation 1. Operation 2, we're dealing with this set quantity, and we want that equal to this set quantity. That's not entirely true, right? Let's try to draw visually what actually is occurring, right? But I want to roll with this as well, so I'll save a little bit of space and I'll come back to this page, right? So let's say we were in operation 1. We want to do, technically we have a set quantity for our x, and let's go ahead and depict that quantity as a square. Basically, that's more of a rectangle, but it doesn't really matter. And then let's depict, well, we have h and k. Technically, h and k are just points. And so I can depict them as I can depict them as a quantity, right, with value. It probably would be best just to consider these as quantities more than anything. Quantities, and just try to figure out the relationship between these quantities for sure, with everything in consideration, being taken into consideration. So yeah, we have this operation number 1, right? And then we square it, right? We square it, and so we want to consider operation number 1 now as this, right? These two quantities, right, being added into each other. And let's go ahead and just depict this as x, and then b, and then we multiply it by x, and then b, right? Just like that. And we're going to do the same for the other two. Right, we're going to do the same for the other quantity. I mean, not the other two. I don't know where I got that from. Plus this set quantity. Only this time the quantity is y, right? And fuck, I got that mixed up. Doesn't really matter. I mean, let's just say a. It's fine. It's fine. I got them swapped or whatever, but it's fine. You're not supposed to be learning from this, obviously. I probably said like a lot of shit that is just blatantly incorrect, and you wouldn't want to use me as a resource. Like, I'm really just a guy who is trying to be better at mathematics, and but I'm not like, I'm obviously not that good. Yeah, we do y and a, right? So these values have been duplicated now, and as I wrote before, right, the relationship between all of these quantities right here, in this case, right, it's going to be x and x, right, directly proportional, so we can consider x and x as big old squared like that, right? And then we can do x, and then we can just say, like, put a little squared symbol next to it, and we can see what happens when we square, just like that, right? And then we're going to next do what is it? It's x and x, and then right, bx and bx. But I'm also adding these now. I should be subtracting them. So let me just write that. Subtract. Do the same there. Subtract. Right. We're supposed to be subtracting. I didn't mean to write the addition symbol. I just fucking do that, man. I'm really truly like not. I'm an amateur. I'm a newbie. As I was saying though, right? So it's gonna be x minus b, x minus b. I can do x plus. It's just x minus b plus x minus b. Is what we want to do. And x minus b plus x minus b. It wouldn't be a big ass square like that necessarily, I don't think. It would be more of a, it would be a big square. It'd be a combination of squares, but it wouldn't be a big ass square. It'd be a moderately big ass square like that, but drawn nicer, less shittily drawn, probably. X minus b plus x minus no, it's negative b times x plus negative b times x. Fuck me, man. Here, negative bx plus negative bx. That's all it is. That's all it is. God. And bx plus bx. Plus negative bx. And then lastly, we're going to do b squared. Do b squared. I don't know. That's fucking b squared. No, fuck it. That's b squared, and the exact same thing is fucking the bottom part. It's the exact same thing, right? So, if we look back at our equation for square, right, which was h, fuck off, which was x minus h. Squared plus, yes, y minus k, Why didn't I just use fucking B at that? Whatever, I don't give a fuck, dude. My minus K equals R squared. So this plus is equal to R squared. It's really interesting. So what do you think happens? Right, like technically it's like I said before. Yeah, the same thing I said before is the case if we're working with these set quantities here, right? If we're working with these quantities here, right? If we plug these quantities for this right here, right? That this operate, let's say this operation right here, right? X minus h squared. That's how we can depict that. When we add x minus h squared to y minus k squared, and it equals r squared. Yeah. It's what I said before. I already fucking knew it. I already said the fucking answer. I said the answer. I said the answer earlier. I said the answer like 30 minutes ago. Oh my god. I said the answer 30 minutes ago, did I not? I already said that. They just flip. They literally just flip. Was I correct? I mean, that's what it seems like. I must have said something that was pretty fucking convincing to myself. Because if I didn't, I don't know what I sat here trying to prove this for. I mean, I guess I didn't have like a visual proof necessarily. I never really had a visual proof, no. Right? Because we're just looking at values. That's the reason why I don't like this specific shit, like the depicting the circle geometrically, whatever. Because we're just depicting, we're just using values. It's just like finding like clever little relationships between center points and not, and whatnot, which is cool. It's cool. It is, but I don't know, dude. It's kind of stupid. It pisses me off. It makes me a little bit mad. Just a little bit mad. Just a little bit mad, right? We can really just depict it like this though, right? If we want to, if let's say h has this value, right? Let's say h has this value and this value is 1. And let's say k has this value and this value is I don't know, 3. I don't like that. There, now it's 3. Now it has a value of 3. God, it's so ugly. Now k has a value of 3. All right. Fuck it, 4. Fuck it, 4. K has a value of 4. K has a value of 4. So, yeah, it's literally just x minus 1. Fuck, dude. Oh my god. We change the relationship of h and k constantly. We're constantly changing the relationship of h and k. If we're going to depict this on a graph, right? Specifically considering this from the point that we are squaring values, then yes, we very literally can, like, regardless of whether or not h is this or whatever, like, wouldn't we at some point just find the literal opposite of the value of x minus h if h is equal to 1? Wouldn't we just find the literal opposite of that and then plug for that value? Is that not how that works? Or am I being goofy? That's what I said earlier. Am I being goofy? Is my quantitative, is my number sense shitty? And am I not capable of thinking about this in a way that makes sense here? Right? If r squared is, I don't know, like fucking 16, and the value of x minus h squared, right, where h is 1, is something like this, right, then it doesn't matter what we plug to an extent if we just think of these quantities. If we just think of the quantities we're working with. Just consider these quantities just as quantities in a fucking vacuum. That's what I want to be able to do, right? If I just figure these quantities, right, the components of a quadratic equation, if I just figure these quantities on their own, yeah, but that's not going to really be that, is it? It's not going to be that. It's going to be a positive. The output for this must be positive. This must be positive. X minus h. Here, let me zoom in because I'm looking at this as well, just to. I'm looking at it as well. It's helpful. It's helpful to look at and reference. There we go. Yeah. Get all up in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. Alright, whatever, dude. Let me keep on doing this. Set that equal to r squared. So we're going to have a given value set equal to r squared, which is our margin. Right? So we have a margin r squared. Just like I said in the beginning. I'm thinking out loud. I'm pissed off. I think I had this shit already. Why did I not? How did I convince myself that I didn't? It's okay. It's good to elaborate and look deeper and actually understand. I'm pretty fucking sure I hit the nail on the head initially, right? With the whole r squared being a margin thing for technically these values, and so we would retroactively change these values, despite the fact that I'm, representing them like this. In reality, in the numbers world, they would really, they would really, what's the word? How do I even say? They would morph and change and fucking become all fucked up and weird, depending on r squared, and of course not just r squared, obviously, but negative, technically the opposite version of y minus k, right? That's just kind of algebra. It's how algebra works, right? So r squared in the negative version, r squared, and we get the negative version of y minus k, and then we get the value of these, right? And that would mean y minus k is equal to the negative version of x minus h squared, and r squared is equal to these two adding into each other, as we already know, and changing around the center point values of each and every one of these will, yep, it's literally what I said in the fucking beginning. I'm gonna it's okay. No, it's okay. No, it's okay. I misunderstood one single thing or something. I don't know what it is. I must have misunderstood one fucking thing and how to calculate the goddamn final answer. The final, the actual output of the thing I was working with. I must have misunderstood that, which caused me to go on this insane thingy trying to prove how this works and see if I'm a dummy or not. I think I'm kind of a dummy, yeah, but I'm not that dumb, because I think I've done it right here. I think I've already figured it out, but now I have some kind of visual aid to assist me in proving how it is all of this ties into each other, right? If we're calculating an output, right, which will depict itself, well, here, technically, on the y, what do you even consider this? Axis? Yeah, right. On the y-axis, here's our x-axis, and then here's our x-axis, the input, what is it? Then it doesn't really matter. Like, it does matter what numbers we have here, right? But they can effectively be depicted like this, right? And eventually they will, because there's no reason why, right? If we are taking two variables, x and y, and setting it equal to r squared, then it's really interesting. It's actually really interesting when we plug for our variables, right? When we plug for our variables, or when we plug for, I don't know, k or h or r squared or whatever else, we will literally just basically define the relationship y and x will have to each other at any given point, which explains why it is circular. It goes in a circle because the equation literally just states it for you. And this is the thing about math. Okay, these are horrible circles. This is the thing about mathematics that I tend to just like completely bungle somehow. Like, I don't know how the fuck I wind up bungling this, but I bungle it time and time and time again, right? I bungle it because I fail to realize that an equation literally tells you what the fuck is going on, right? But I forget to break down an equation systematically, to consider the relationship of variables and constants or whatever to each other, right? To consider what it is we are looking at specifically, consider why the order of operations is structured the way it is, right? Because if we did that, then I would have done this in the first place. I would have done this. I would have broken down x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. I would have factored x minus h squared and y minus k squared. I would have found the relationship between x and h and y and k, and I would have drawn this out and just been like, oh, fucking quadratic equation. Duh. It's a quadratic equation. And then I would have taken this quadratic equation bullshit and I would have looked down and I would have taken this quadratic equation bullshit and I would have used the logic of amounts changing, right? And I would have applied the logic of amounts changing, defined amounts changing, relative to other amounts changing, because this is literally a fucking equation. Look, that's a plus sign. What is that, a zero? Is it x minus h 0 times y minus? No, it's a plus sign. That is literally, that the plus denotes relationship. Plus means relationship. Plus means y minus k has a relationship, an additive relationship with x minus h squared, right? And y minus k squared has an additive relationship with x minus h squared, right? And since they're both equal to r squared, we get a number amount that sets the margin for these values here, and that's literally the fuck it. Literally the fuck it. That's all. That's all, right? We get a circle. We get a circular shape, right? I keep fucking up drawing a circle. I don't want to draw a stupid circle on live. I want to draw a cool circle that everybody can appreciate. I don't want to use this one. It gave me like that weird like chill that you get when like, you know, the nails on chalkboard feeling. I think like the tip of it, the lead might have like broken off slightly or something. I don't know. It was really uncomfortable. Oh my fuck me. Here we go. fix that. Then we're gonna fix this. We're gonna draw. There we go. Also, probably another reason I'm bad at math, I get caught up on stupid bullshit. That is not a good circle at all. This circle is psychotic looking. But it's okay because these doodles are psychotic looking. Look at these doodles on my paper. This is insane. Look at this shit. I'm gonna come on here and do math constantly because it's so funny watching me do math. I'm so fucking bad at it. It's awesome. Fit the screen, order, transform. Dude, am I dummy? 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 Whoa. Okay. Look at those doodles. Look at those psychotic doodles. You can kind of see them. I'm just like scribbling all over my paper. It helps though. It helps me concentrate for whatever reason. Like I think I might start doing very light scribbles across pages. No matter how it makes me look. Doesn't matter. I'd sit and live stream myself to nobody, talking to myself basically all damn day. What, like that's not already like over the line? That's not worse than this shit? It is, obviously. Anyway, yeah, since we set our margins like that, obviously, you know, we can basically take the basic concept 2 plus 3 equals 5 and 3 plus 2 equals 5. I think is literally basically how we can consider that. Right? And since we're working with these like center point thingies, right? I think we could just take the basic concept. Yeah, like these two numbers can equal the same number, and they are effectively restricted. They are required to equal this value at the extreme. It's maxima and minima at that point. Maxima and minima, right? Like when our x value is, for example, I don't know, -3 or 3, right? We have a value from our center point of 3, right? A distance value of 3 from our center point, because we're squaring, so that both of these are equal to 3, the negative and the positive. And the same goes for our y, right? I don't know if y is equal to 0, or no, the radius is equal to 3. Let's say x is equal to 3. Well, y should be equal to 0. And it will just be equal to 0, I think. I mean, if x is equal to -3, right, we square it, and then that's 3. And here, let me check Desmos real fast, because I am curious. Look at my skinny ass arm, dude. Gross. Nasty. Moving on. Give me a sec. Let's take a look at Desmos again. Right. Let's check what I just said. So, these values aren't equal to what? We want x to be equal to what? -3? Well, what's y equal to? Let's just say, yeah, no, we want r to be equal to, I'm not what is y equal to, what is r equal to? R, yes. So x -3, 0, yep. 0 and 0, just like I saw earlier. Yeah. So it's really just maxima and minima. That's all. That's all. Right. And as we move away, our x value gets... See, like, God, why don't I think like that? It's so fucking obvious. Oh my God. It took me an hour to just do, like, basic algebraic reasoning. For fuck's sakes. This is why I need to get better at math. It's super obvious. I hit the wrong transition. It's super obvious once you're looking at it. Yes, you should literally consider it as input and output. If you consider x as input, right, or even x is just x, a value of x, and we're comparing maxima and minima. Here, give me a second. And we're comparing maxima and minima, right? Then we'll find that when x is equal to -3, which is our margin, right? Let's say margin or r squared equals, I don't know, no, not r squared, r equals 3, right? We get -3, right? We can probably intuit that that's -3, and then let's say x instead equals, I don't know, let's say y doesn't equal 0, and it equals like 0.00000001 something or other, right? Well, it would barely, right? We just go up a teensy little bit, and we would go to the right a teensy little bit, and that would repeat over and over and over again until we literally have made our rounds around the whole fucking circle, moving effectively between, like, because these points are infinite. We can just keep on adding zeros over and over and over again. I said this in the fucking beginning. I said it in the beginning. I knew it in the beginning, but I forgot, just like I said earlier, one or two very important principles about mathematics that would have made everything click a lot quicker, right? But because I forgot these ideas, these things didn't click a lot quicker. They clicked. They took a long fucking time for myself to remember. Anyway, I believe we set x and h relative to each other because we are basically just saying the difference of x from h and the difference of y from k. Right, the difference of y from k. And when we find the difference of y from k relative to the radius, it's interesting that we do say that the difference of x and h and the difference of y from k is equal to the radius, right? But we find the relationship between x and h, which is our center point. We find the relationship between x and h, which is our center point. See, now I'm trying to figure out if this is like, I mean, technically it has like some sort of like geometric value or whatever, but I'm trying to figure out if there's something deeper here, if it's really just like, you know, for the sake of making the fucking equation work more than anything. I mean, there's probably some deeper quantitative reason, right? I mean, if we're finding the difference between the value of x from h, right, I really think that utilizing like this sort of logic would probably be better than maxima and minima logic, right? Probably makes more sense. I mean, if I was just given a point hk, right? Say I was just given a point of h and k, which is obviously, all right, we should know this, the center point of a circle, right? We should know this. It's the center point of a circle, h and k, center point of a circle, all right? And we can go ahead and plop hk right in the center of that goddamn circle, right there. Right there. Let's just say it's, I don't know, 0, 0. So we just want to find the value of x from h. Oh my god, it's beautiful. There it is. There it is. Look at that. Yeah, you're really just finding, it's really x minus h. X minus h. Do the opposite or inverse of h. Let's say, typically if you were adding a value to x, you would shift over here to the right, but since we're not adding a value to x, shifting over here. I mean, since we're doing the opposite, right, with the minus sign, we're shifting to the right. We're shifting to the right. H. It's really interesting because that speaks to the value of h, right? It does require a little bit of, like, you know, what exactly am I doing here kind of thing, right? So if we want to, since we're working with a center point, we don't want to shift the opposite way, right? We want to shift in the direction of our proposed center point. I thought. I mean, yeah. If h was a negative value, right? If I did like x minus negative h, yeah, then we would shift to the left. No, we would we would shift to the left if that was the case. Let me see. Yeah, but okay. X minus h, yeah, so we go on to the minus that. We go on to the minus that. X minus h, x minus h. So the r squared center point value right there. Margin of 3. You always find the difference. You get the value. It's super interesting. Really interesting that just by taking the center point, I mean, the center point isn't really what defines the value per se. I don't think the center point is what defines the value. I think this is really just an equation for deriving the center point, and I might be able to prove that right now. Let's see. Right, so if it's more so a thing of deriving the center point, then if I get rid of b, all right. Yeah, okay, yeah, nah, that's cool. We can just put r. We don't, and then not even have to square it, and you know. But wait, look at that, look at that. I mean, shit, when you square it, it gets a lot bigger. It does. I mean, it gets bigger. It does indeed get bigger, but we're also saying different shit, and also making everything squares probably makes more sense, because then we kind of, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's an equation for finding the center point. From what I've heard, right, on the grapevine, the quadratic formula is loved for its investigative properties, right? And so I wouldn't be surprised if, yeah, this is just really, this is an equation for finding the center point. It's specific. And that's that, right? Shit. Alright, like, let me see. Yeah, because we're effectively just, I mean, that is true, that what I just said is true, but we're isolating certain values in something that could this circle exist without this specific equation? That's an interesting question. That's a very neat question. Are there other equations that can lead to a shape like this being created? Because if there are, then I'm thinking about it correctly, right? Somewhat. I mean, I don't necessarily have to be thinking about it correctly. I could be wrong. I could be wrong as fuck. But still, you know, whatever. It's minus a plus, I don't know, y minus b equals c. And you just, like, I don't know, added slider for c or something. Yeah, well, I didn't square these values this time. That's interesting as well, that this is all predicated on these being squared, but also, no, not really. Now that I think of it, not interesting. I already understand why they have to be squared. If they weren't squared, then you would literally have no margins. you would have no margins. So, I mean, in theory, I could also just not square these and specifically square our C, right? Variable C. Really? What? Hold on. No, because I need to look at this in terms of what a quadratic equation is, right? Because these functions are linear. I mean, these not functions. These what the fuck do I refer to them as? Operations. Yeah, let's just keep considering them operations. These operations are linear, so to speak, right? We need to consider this in terms of the equation outputted when we make this quadratic. Isn't that fucking interesting? Look at that. This is something that popped up before that I noticed but didn't comment on. Isn't that cool, right? We just get a parabola squaring one of them, right? Because technically we would just be adding a linear amount, you know, of two variables that, you know, exist and have some sort of value, but you know, one of them has sort of an intrinsic rule about itself, and then the other one, you know, is just a quantity or a number of quantities that I guess just at any given point affect this shit. But we you know, at any given point, meaning, you know, the point that we are looking at. It's interesting. So we get the 1 and then -1, 1 and then -1, 1 and then -1. Right, make that. Let's make this 0. Oh, just missed it. Just missed it. What a shame. Here we go. We've got an intersection. That's at -1. Yeah. It's at -1. That's cool. Very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Here, let's go ahead and square that value. Whoa, hey, what? What the fuck? What happened? Look at that. Oh shit. Isn't that interesting? Oh wait. You know what I think it is? I think literally, yeah. My value of C was like nothing. And so it wasn't going to display. That's funny. That's funny that I made that mistake. That's cool. This is very cool. Unsquare C. No, but we need to also remove that. Yeah. You unsquare C. Interesting. Let's just make the value of C like some like shitty tiny number. Some shit dick, small ass, tiny ass number, bro. That doesn't matter. I wanna change that. Right, let's make that like that. Obviously, same thing is gonna occur there. Make the value of A. What? Oh, okay. Sorry. That freaked me out for a second. Remove that there. Get a parabola, but it's relative to y. Makes sense. Relative to y. Meaning y is what is producing, I suppose, the exponentially changing variable shit. Y minus b, x minus a. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? That symmetry. Yeah, that symmetry even here, right? In this function, I mean, what if I got rid of this? That's so cool. Oh shit, wait. Yeah, we are literally saying like a very, very, very different thing. That's really cool. I want to write that down. Damn, dude. This is awesome. This is really fucking awesome. We just have to play around with equations here, you know, and try and figure out, you know, what is going on exactly. Ah, shit. See, I fucking knew it. See, I knew you didn't need... What did I say? What did I say? Didn't I say that? You didn't even need A or B. You don't need A or B variables. You make the square just by plugging X and Y. See, I was wondering why it was gone. I was like, why is it giving me an error? Was my logic on? No. It's because the fucking software requires you to get rid of the plus and minus signs and shit. See? I knew it. I knew it. So my logic was reasonable with this. Fuck yeah. Fuck yes. So it is just an investigative. It is just an investigative. It is just an equation that was primarily made to investigate, that utilizes the quadratic equation for its investigative properties in order to find center points H and K by finding the difference from X and Y from the center points. I think that is literally it. I might be wrong about that second part, but I understand foundationally what is going on, which means that I've done it. I've done it. I've 100% cracked the circle, the mystery of the circle, on the graph. I've done it. I've cracked the mystery of the circle on the graph. We can probably do this for 4 hours. I just need to take a break, eat something, etc., etc. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna do like another circle, another equation, or if we're gonna like, we're obviously gonna do another equation, but should we just fuck with like exponential equations and try to figure out the relationships between them, or because I feel like that would be fun. Because really, I just need to get like my reasoning better. I need to get more fluent in the language of mathematics and get better at like intuiting what it is I'm looking at a little bit more quickly. Because I take a long time to do it. Sometimes I've been bad at math for probably a majority of my life. I don't really think I'm bad at math now, if I'm being honest. Like, I think I'm okay at it. I think I'm good at like looking at it, and you know, after sustained effort, I can figure out what it is. Maybe that just means I'm kind of a dummy, which is fine, or not a dummy, but you know, just nothing special in terms of my quantitative reasoning skills. But it doesn't really matter, because give me like 2 years and I'm gonna be kicking this shit in the ass. I love doing math, man. I don't do it super often, as evidenced by the fact that I didn't open up this Desmos, or the other Desmos, on the same topic for like I don't know, like a week or something. I was keeping up with that shit for a little while though. I was doing okay. This is, I guess, the stream loop, right? This is the content loop. We study mathematics for like 3-4 hours, and then we play Elden Ring. But I don't know if I'm gonna play Elden Ring today. Maybe not. I don't really know. Regardless, when I get back, we're going to be messing around with these equations, studying them, so on and so forth. Let me just write down this circle equation, because I understand. And it's really easy. It's really easy. I wanted to come to this conclusion without Desmos, and I fucking did. Hell yes. I came to this fucking circle equation conclusion without putting it in Desmos, which means that I did it legitly. That means I did it the cool way. You know, I'm fucking happy about that. Yeah, I'm fucking happy about that. That's awesome. That rocks. Anyway, yeah. I'll be back. I'll be back in a little bit. I got distracted again. Give me a second. How do I click off this shit? What tab is this? Is this the second one? Yeah. All right. I'll be right back for real this time. Okay, I'm back. Shit. Oh yeah, I never had headphones on. Oh man, you saw my snack, dudes. Yeah, it's fucking Cheez-Its. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's fucking Cheez-Its. Took me 2 hours to do that. To be fair, like I said, I got the answer earlier. I did get the fucking answer earlier. I did. I got the answer earlier. I did. Basically, I think. I don't know. Probably not. Right when I rewatch the shit, I'll probably be like completely fucking off. Or just off enough to discount my answer. I mean, no. We'll see. Because I don't remember. I really don't remember at all. What I said verbatim. I don't remember what I said verbatim. I do remember somewhat. Look, man, I'm just talking bullshit. I'm not used to streaming yet. I talk a lot. But I'm not used to talking this much, I'm not gonna lie. So sometimes I just kind of say shit. I'm not paying attention to the fucking words coming out of my mouth, dude. Yeah, that was enjoyable. Look at this, like, archaic-ass math I'm doing. This is how, like, Egyptians did math. This is how the fucking pyramids were built. These are what the schematics looked like. It was circles with scribbles of lines inside of them. And just squares with letters and numbers in them. Like literal squares with letters and numbers. Like H is equal to 1 block. K is equal to 4 block. Radius. Yeah, that's how Egyptians would say radius, with an us. An exaggerated us. Radius. Radius is equal to 8 block. Divi circle, 4 quadrants. Truncated pyramid, something truncated pyramid. I don't know. At some point we get to that, right? Truncated pyramid, somehow, some way. The greatest pyramid. Yeah, I'm still chowing down. You gotta give me a moment. I'd ask you guys how life is, but nobody's here, which is fine. No, okay. It feels up to me if I could choose to watch this or like Kai Cenat get his dick sucked or something, because that was a thing that happened, right? Didn't like a woman like give him head or something when he was doing like a streaming for 48 days straight thing or some shit? It was like a week straight, 24/7 nonstop. I don't remember. I remember somebody said something about like a under the table hand job or blow job or something gross. I'd watch that any day as opposed to this, assuming Kai Cenat is of age, of course, because I don't know how old he is. He looks like he's like around my age. Maybe. I don't know how old Kai Cenat is. I don't know. Perfectly honest, I have no fucking idea. Yeah, we're just gonna continue to draw squares and circles, probably. All the polygons you can think of. Circle's not a polygon, right? Polygons can't have curved edges. I mean, they can't have curves in general. Curved edges. What shape? Curved edges. Hey, you know what? What's this called? If that's not a square, what is that? It's a square with curved edges. See that? So what do we call that? Lord knows. It's crazy. Like, wanting to learn math like this, I'm constantly being humbled. Like, just reminded reminded how little I know about mathematics. I have this calc book. I can show you, actually. I have this calc book right here by Morris Klein. Fuck off. Here, that's all I need. By Morris Klein. It's Calculus and Intuitive and Physical Approach. Right? Keyword intuitive. Right? So, in order to build up your, I guess, I don't know if it's like to quote unquote build up your, you know, intuition for mathematics, or just to test yourself and see where you are and if you're ready to take on the rest of the contents of this book. But this shit stumped me before, you know, and I very well could, I'm not even going to attempt to explain it now. I think I can, but I'm not going to in the event that I cannot, or I'm nervous. Here it is. You see that right there? I highly doubt you can. Let me go ahead and enhance the image for you. You can go ahead and enhance that. See that? That says, write the formula for the area A of a circle in terms of the radius, the area A of a circle in terms of the diameter, right? Write the formula for the radius of a circle in terms of the area. Is the function single valued? Like, I tried to do this without Googling anything. And keep in mind, I hadn't done geometry in forever. So I was trying to figure this shit out, like, just on my own. Eventually, I was able to come up with B and 5, 4B and 5, the answers for these. But it was after, like, I figured out how pi was derived, and what the radius has to do with pi, and so on and so forth. And, like, I feel like most people would be able to just, like, jot the fucking answer down and not go through all the fucking headache. It's a very humbling thing. You know? I know I'm behind in math and stuff. It's fine, because it's cool. It doesn't really matter. Does it? Like, not really. I don't think it really matters. There's more pressing things in the world, I think. And in my life as well, but not really, because this is what I'm choosing to do in my free time. Oh shit. I finished the water. was great. Man, that was great. You know what, dude? I don't fucking feel like doing this on stream anymore. I probably will do this on stream. I probably will stream this tomorrow, if not later today, but I'm probably going to investigate all of the, what's it called? The, equations and whatnot here on my own. Just because I don't feel like having the camera on and stuff, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching this shit. I'm gonna try to end streams after like 2, 3, 4 hours. I don't want them to go on longer than 4 hours, and I would like them to last at least 2 hours. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna do this for the time being, for the remainder of my day, and either that or make some dinner, or I don't know, lunch if I want to eat later. I don't fucking know. Ow. I got a nasty scratch here. When did that happen? That sucks. Anyway, yeah. See you guys tomorrow. And again, before I go, we can look in here, and I'll show you what we might be looking into in the near future. It'd be fun to do like a deep dive on graphs and stuff, because that definitely would help. Definitely would help. We should do that tomorrow. Yeah, graph deep dive. Identify center and the radius. So I actually managed to do number 6 on my list, so I can cross that off. Point slope form graphing, that's easy. I think I already understand how that works, but maybe I just wanted to refresh my memory. Playing with lines. A figure 1, referring to this. X as the input. Yeah, we understand X as the input. Perpendicular lines have negative and inverse slopes. That's going to be fucking interesting. So playing with lines is probably what we're going to do tomorrow. So let me go ahead and write that down. And we can think of that as well. I don't know. Maybe I need like a streaming schedule or some shit. Like, so that I... Do I really need a schedule, though? Like, come on, nobody gives a shit. That's one of the cool things about... Whoa. Bit of discoloration there. Yeah, I noticed my webcam was kind of off in how it was... I think it's just something with the contrast, but I don't... Brightness... Yeah, I should have turned that up fucking so long ago. Why did I never do that? Like, whatever, dude. It doesn't really fucking matter. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna do 9, playing with lines, because it's beginner shit, but it's also super cool. So here, let me go ahead and do stream 9. I'll just put it in quotes, I guess, playing with lines. And then we'll get to do that. When I finish working out everything in my contents, my table of contents for math ideas and stuff, we can go over that, and I hopefully can explain it to you. But here's what we'll be doing tomorrow, everybody. Number 9, playing with lines. Either tomorrow or the next day, or even later tonight. Like I said, depends. Stick that on my computer screen so I see that. Don't forget. And Hopefully, you know, you enjoyed watching me do this. Probably not. Probably not at all. But maybe somebody, you know, somebody you get a kick out of. I think there's a chance. Would I watch this shit? Maybe. Maybe. Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. If I'm being honest, probably not. Hold on. I'm just talking to fill dead air at this point because I'm trying to like fix the camera before I end this stream. Now, I could just end the stream, right? Where's the fun in that, though? Where's the fucking fun in that? There is no fun in that. Oh, look. Desmos is in the background. It doesn't matter. You can just see the fucking table stand thing for all eternity. Alright, I'm done. I'm done. Hold on. Okay, I'm done wasting time for real this time. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye for real this time. No, I can't end it off like that. Hold on. Did you see that? Did you see the way that went? Hold on. Okay. Goodbye. Okay. Alright. Goodbye for real this time.